Hey class, good evening. Once again, welcome to today's session. And today's session is your Umang series for your grade 9. And in the last class, we have done about the topic rational and irrational number. Got it? So last class, when I was talking about the rational and irrational number, I have told you rational number is P by Q form, P and Q are integers. And in the decimal form, it will be either a terminating decimal or non-terminating and recurring. But for irrational number, it is non-terminating, non-recurring. And after that, I gave you one question as your homework as well. After that, I gave you one question as your homework. The question was that if pi is irrational and 22 by 7 is a rational number, how come both of them are equal? Got it? So let us understand that. To understand that part, beta, you need to first focus that we know that if I divide 22 by 7, the decimal form will be 3.142857 and so on. It will go on and on and on and on and on. Got it? So you will clearly see that this decimal fraction is non-terminating but recurring, because 142857 is again and again and again repeating itself. But when we talk about pi, the pi's decimal expansion is this: 3.14159265389, and you will never see any pattern over there. Got it? So pi is 3.1415926. So what is pi? Pi is 3.1415926 and so on and on and on and on and on. And it will be a decimal of the type of non-terminating and non-recurring. So many of you told me in the answer that so 22 by 7 will be a non-terminating, non-recurring. So that is not correct. Okay. But many of you have also given me the correct answer, that is pi is not exactly equal to 22 by 7, but pi is approximately equal. Pi is approximately equal to 22 by 7, which is, or this 3.1415926, I can write it as 3.14, or the other approximation which you use in the fraction form is 22 by 7. So these are the approximate value. These are your approximate value for your calculation purpose, so that your calculations are easy. Got it? That was the answer. So pi is approximately equal to 22 by 7. It is not exactly equal. So this is an approximate form for pi which we use so that our calculation becomes easier. That was the answer for the previous homework question. Okay, so now let us start the today's class. So today's class topic is your rationalization. Okay, rationalization. Now what is rationalization? Understand it. Rationalization, for you, if I want to tell that what is rationalization, it is the process of making denominator rational. Okay, it is not about making a number irrational to rational. It is not about converting an irrational number to a rational number. No, rationalization only focuses on the denominator. If the denominator is irrational, then you convert that denominator to rational and numerator will shift accordingly. For example, let us say, to start with the process of rationalization, first understand, if I have root 2 I have. Now if I ask you what you should multiply here so that you get a rational number, is it root 2, is it 2, is it 1, is it 1 by 2, what it is? Okay, so I think all of you must be answering in the chat box right now, and the correct answer is root 2. When you multiply square root of 2 with root 2, then your answer becomes a rational number. This is 2. So this is how you can see that if root 2, which is an irrational number, is multiplied with root 2, your answer is a rational number. Similarly, for root 3 multiplied with root 3 will be becoming 3, which is again a rational number. Got it? But these are not in the denominator. These are not in the denominator. And I have told you rationalization is the process of making the denominator rational. Making the denominator rational. Suppose if I have a number, let us say 1 by root 2. Now here you can see that the numerator is a rational number, denominator is an irrational number. Overall, the number is irrational. Overall, if you ask me, the number is irrational because root 2 is present. Overall, the number is irrational because the root 2 is present. Now, my aim when I talk about rationalization, my aim is to make denominator rational. So if I have 1 by root 2, if I have 1 by root 2 and if I want to make it a rational number, I know that I will multiply the denominator with root 2. I will multiply the denominator with root 2. But when I do that, when I only multiply the denominator with root 2, I have changed the fraction. This is not new fraction. This is not the same number. This is not the same number. So you have learned in the concept of equivalent fraction that if a fraction is there, you can multiply both the numerator and denominator with the same number. The fraction does not change. For example, if you have 1 by 2, multiply both the numerator and denominator with 5, you will get 5 by 10, and 5 by 10 is still equal to 1 by 2. Got it? So 1 by root 2, if I only multiply the denominator with root 2, then the number will change. So if I want to keep the number same, I can say multiply both the numerator and denominator with the same number. Got it? So 1 into root 2 will become root 2, and upon root 2 into root 2 is 2. Got it? So you can see at the starting, my number was irrational. Even after doing the rationalization, my number is still irrational because root 2 is present. But the only change, if you will observe here, the change is that here the denominator is irrational, and here now the denominator is become rational. So many students have this doubt that with rationalization, do we change the irrational number to rational? No, we don't do that. An irrational number is not changed to a rational number. Only thing is your focus is to change that denominator. Your focus is to change that denominator from irrational to rational. Got it? So same way, if I give you an example, suppose 1 by root 3. So how will you rationalize this? Very simple. Multiply and divide, multiply both the numerator and denominator with root 3. So you will get 1 into root 3 as root 3 upon 3. Got it? Same with any other number. Suppose 1 by root 5 is there. So it will become multiply with root 5 and root 5. So you'll get root 5 by 5. Got it? But what if I have a combination of numbers? What if I have a combination of numbers in the denominator? That means, suppose if I talk about a number like this, that is 1 by 2 plus root 3. I have given you a number that is 1 by 2 plus root 3. Now, numerator is 1, which is a rational number. Denominator is 2 plus root 3, which is an irrational number, So now, how do I rationalize this part? So understand this part here, beta. If you multiply 2 plus root 3, suppose if you multiply 2 plus root 3 with the same number 2 plus root 3 only, then you will get 2 plus root 3 whole square. Correct? Which will become a square, that is 2 square plus root 3 square plus 2 into a into b, which means 4 plus 3 plus 2 into 2 is 4 root 3, that is 7 plus 4 root 3. So the multiplying with the same number is not resulting into anything. Okay, so if I multiply the numerator and denominator both with 2 plus root 3, then I'm not going to achieve anything. Got it? Now let's understand. Let's look at the next part. The next part which I'm trying to do here is, let us say, multiply this 2 plus root 3 with 2 minus root 3. Multiply this 2 plus root 3 with the 2 minus root 3. So you can clearly see it is like a plus b into a minus b. So it will become a square minus b square, that is 2 square is 4 minus root 3 square is 3, which is equal to 1. So when you multiply 2 plus root 3 with the 2 minus root 3, it gives you a rational number. Correct? So that is what we have to do, that I will multiply both the numerator and the denominator with 2 plus root 3. Both of them. With both of them, both the numerator and, sorry, with 2 minus root 3, not plus root 3. I wrote it wrong. I will multiply both the numerator and denominator with 2 minus root 3. 2 minus root 3. Got it? So the numerator will become 2 minus root 3 and the denominator, which is 2 plus root 3 into 2 minus root 3, will be equal to 1. So I have got 2 minus root 3. Got it? So I can say that 1 by 2 plus root 3 is also equal to 2 minus root 3. So here you can see I have done the rationalization. The denominator has changed from irrational to rational and numerator has changed from rational to irrational. So at the end the number remained irrational only. Got it? So this is how you do the rationalization. This is how the rationalization is being done. So for example, if I have something in the denominator, let us say 1 by, suppose a plus root b or anything. Okay. Suppose if I have something suppose in the form of a plus b in the denominator. So to rationalize it, what you will do? You will multiply it with a minus b. And similarly, in the opposite sense, if I have a minus b here, then what I will do? I will multiply with a plus b. As simple as this. Got it? So if I have 1 by 5 minus root 3, I will multiply it with 5 plus root 3, both the numerator as well as the denominator. And if I have suppose 1 by 5 plus root 3, now I will multiply it with 5 minus root 3, 5 minus root 3. So make sure in the denominator you get the form of a plus b into a minus b. Got it? So in denominator, what form you should get? A plus b into a minus b. So these will be your rationalization factor. For a plus b, the rationalization factor is a minus b. For a minus b, the rationalization factor is a plus b. As simple as that. Once you have done this, just go on with your calculations and you will get your answer. Trust me, it is that easy if you have understood this part. Now let's look at some question. I am telling you, now you will find the questions damn easy. It's going to be super easy for you. Okay, let's look at the first question. The number obtained on rationalizing the denominator of 1 upon square root of 7 minus 2. I am rationalizing this part. Okay, so understand this thing beta. What you have? You have 1 by root 7 minus 2. Correct? So it will be equal to, sorry, so what I need to do is I need to multiply. What I need to do is I need to multiply it with the rationalization factor. Okay, so the rationalization factor, if the denominator here, if, sorry, yeah, so if the denominator here is root 7 minus 2, we will multiply it with root 7 plus 2 and here also with root 7 plus 2. So you'll be getting root 7 plus 2 divided by a minus b into a plus b, that is a square minus b square. So you will be getting root 7 plus 2 divided by root 7 square is 7 minus 4, which is root 7 plus 2 divided by 3. So root 7 plus 2 divided by 3, option A will be your correct answer. Option A will be your correct answer. So this is how the theory of rationalization works. This is how the theory of rationalization works. Got it? Let's move to the next question. So in this question, we have square root of 32 plus square root of 48 upon square root of 8 plus square root of 12. So now whenever these kind of questions are there where the numbers inside the square root is larger, try to simplify them. So square root of 32, if I talk about square root of 32, square root of 32 will be equal to square root of 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. Got it? I can make the pairs. So for each pair, 1, 2 will come outside the square root, and the unpaired part will remain inside the square root only. So that will be equal to 4 root 2. 32, square root of 32 is equal to 4 root 2. Similarly, square root of 48, which is equal to 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3. Again, you can see you can form two pairs. So it will be equal to 4 root 3. Square root of 32 is 4 root 2. Square root of 48 is 4 root 3. Similarly, square root of 8 will be square root of 2 into 2 into 2, which is equal to 2 root 2. And square root of 12 will be equal to square root of 2 into 2 into 3. Make the pairs. One pair of 2 will come outside. 3 is always 3 is inside the square root, as there is no pair of it. So when the numbers are bigger, try to simplify them. So square root of 32 is 4 root 2, square root of 48 is 4 root 3, square root of 8 is 2 root 2, square root of 12 is 2 root 3. Got it? So you can rewrite them as 4 root 3 plus 4 root 2 divided by 2 root 3 plus 2 root 2. Got it? भाई देखो यार, if it is root 32 plus 48, I can interchange them also. Got it? So now we have to see what value will this be equal to. Let us rationalize this part. So if I want to rationalize this, I will say multiply it with, look at the denominator, 2 root 3 plus 2 root 2. So multiply it with 2 root 3 minus 2 root 2. And here also 2 root 3 minus 2 root 2, because we have to multiply it with the same number to both the numerator and denominator, and the number is selected by looking at the denominator. Numerator doesn't play any role in this. So now after doing this, after the rationalization, let's see what will happen now. So first multiply by denominator. What will be your denominator? Denominator will be 2 root 3 whole square minus 2 root 2 whole square, and the numerator is 4 root 3 into 2 root 3, that is 8 into root 3 into root 3 is what? 3. So 8 3s are 24. Okay, I will just show one example to you so that you will not face any problem in solving these questions. Okay, देखो बेटा भाई, what I am telling you here, 4 root 3 into 2 root 3, so 4 into 2 is 8. How do you multiply two irrational number? So multiply the rational part. 4 into 2 is 8. Root 3 into root 3 is 3. That is 8 into 3. Now 4 root 3 into minus 2 root 2. So positive into negative will become negative. And here 4 into 2 is 8. Root 3 into root 2 is root 6. Correct? Then 4 root 2 into 2 root 3. So positive into positive is positive only. 4 into 2 is 8. Root 2 into root 3 is root 6. And then we have positive into negative is negative, 4 2s are 8, and root 2 into root 2 is 2. Got it? This is how you have multiplied them. So here you will be getting 24 minus 8 root 6 plus 8 root 6 minus 16 divided by 2 root 3 whole square. So 2 square is 4, root 3 square is 3, 4 into 3 is 12 minus 2 root 2 whole square. So 2 square is 4, root 2 square is 2, and 4 into 2 is 8. 24 minus 16 is your what? 8, and minus 8 root 6 plus 8 root 6 got cancelled, and here 12 minus 8 is equal to 4. So 8 divided by 4 is equal to 2. So the answer for this root 32 plus root 48 upon root 8 plus root 12 is equal to 2. Now you must be telling me that, sir, you told me that this rationalization will convert the number, only the denominator, from rational to irrational. But here this was irrational, and fine, here you have got 2 as a rational number. So I would like to tell you here that this part is not the final form. This is not the final form of this. But we have to solve this part and we have to check that what answer we are getting. We know that a irrational number into irrational number can be rational, and irrational number divided by irrational number can be rational. For example, root 2 upon root 2 is equal to 1. So irrational upon irrational can be rational. So same is the case here. Maybe the numerator which you have there and the denominator which you have here, upon doing rationalization, they might be equal to 2. Now there is an easier way to solve this also. The easier way to solve this is by, you have 4 root 3 plus 4 root 2 divided by 2 root 3 plus 2 root 2, right? So from the numerator, take 4 common. You are left with root 3 plus root 2. And from the denominator, take 2 common. You are left with root 3 plus root 2. Now this to this got cancelled. 4 divided by 2 you are left, which is equal to 2. So again, your answer remains same. So whatever may, you can get it. Okay, just understand rationalization is just a simple doing the equivalent fractions, nothing else. Other than that, same operations on the rational numbers which you will apply. Let's go for the next question. The next question we have is this. The value, acha, so it is 2. Next question. If square root of 2 is 1.4142, that is the value of square root 2 for us, approximate value obviously, which is 1.4142. Then find out the value of square root of root 2 minus 1 upon root 2 plus 1. So whenever, make this a rule in your head, whenever the denominator is an irrational number, always start with the rationalization. So I have square root of 2 minus 1 upon square root of 2 plus 1. So inside the square root only I will do the rationalization. Inside the square root I will do the rationalization. So let us multiply it with, the denominator is root 2 plus 1. So multiply it with root 2 minus 1, and here also root 2 minus 1. Correct? So what you will be getting? You are getting whole square root of root 2 minus 1 into root 2 minus 1 is what? Root 2 minus 1 whole square, and here a plus b into a minus b is a square minus b square. Correct? So you have got square root of root 2 minus 1 whole square, and root 2 square is 2 minus 1 square is 1, so which is equal to square root of root 2 minus 1 whole square upon 1. So upon 1 means what? It is nothing but square root of root 2 minus 1 whole square. Now whole square and square root will get cancelled, so you are left with root 2 minus 1. So the answer is root 2 minus 1. Now they have told us that root 2 is 1.4142. So let us place that value. 1.4142 minus 1 will give you 0.4142. So that is your correct answer, 0.4142. So correct answer is option C, 0.4142. Very easy question. Just understand, look at the denominator. If denominator is a plus b, multiply it with a minus b. If the denominator is a minus b, multiply both the numerator and denominator with a plus b. As simple as that, nothing else. And after that, whatever operation, simple mathematics, addition, subtraction, all that you have to do, nothing else, nothing else. Got it? Let's go for the next question. If root 2 plus root 3 upon 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3 is equal to a minus b root 6, then find the value of a and b. So now in these kind of questions, always understand that first you have to simplify the LHS part. Simplify that and get to know that what is the final answer over there. Okay, so we will first simplify this part. We need to simplify this part. So I will start with the rationalization, because I can see very clearly that the denominator is an irrational number. Correct? So I will say, sir, if the denominator is 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3, so multiply it with 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3. A into a minus b is here, so we'll multiply with a plus b. So same thing in the numerator as well. Correct? So now the denominator will be equal to what? Denominator is a square minus b square. Correct? And the numerator root 2 into 3 root 2. So root 2 into root 2 is 2. 2 into 3 is 6. Root 2 into 2 root 3. So plus 2 into root 3 is what? Root 6. Then root 3 into 3 root 2 will become 3 root 6. And root 3 into 2 root 3 will become 2, and root 3 into root 3 is 3, so 2 into 3 is again 6. So you are getting 6 plus 6 is 12, 2 root 6 plus 3 root 6 is 5 root 6 divided by 3 root 2 whole square. How do you do 3 root 2 whole square? I have told you, square the rational number. So 3 square is 9, root 2 square is 2, 9 into 2, 18. Minus 2 root 3 whole square. 2 square is 4, root 3 square is 3, 4 into 3 is 12. Correct? So 12 plus 5 root 6 upon 18 minus 12, which is equal to 12 plus 5 root 6 upon 18 minus 12 is equal to 6. Now let us split the denominator. So you have got 12 by 6 plus 5 root 6 divided by 6. 12 by 6 is equal to what? 2 plus 5 root 6 whole divided by 6. So this is the final form. This number which you have got here can be written in the final form as this. Correct? Now they have told you that this number at the starting is equal to a minus b root 6. So I can say that 2 plus 5 root 6 upon 6 is equal to a minus b root 6. What it is equal to? It is equal to a minus b root 6. So now I want you to understand this part very clearly. How do you do the comparison? Okay, understand this thing very clearly. How do you do the comparison? So for the comparison beta, you need to understand that whenever this is given, you can see very clearly that okay, this a is a rational number and this b root 6. So this b is joined with an irrational number. So if I have 2 plus 5 root 6 upon 6 is equal to a minus b root 6, I can say the rational part will be equal to rational. So 2 should be equal to a. So a should be equal to 2, and then the irrational part should be equal. So 5 root 6 upon 6 is equal to minus of b root 6, because listen here, it is plus sign, it is minus sign, so we have to take the negative sign together as well. So root 6 to root 6 got cancelled. Minus b is equal to 5 by 6, so I can say b is equal to minus 5 by 6. Got it? So a is equal to 2 and b is equal to minus 5 by 6. This is how this question can be solved very easily. In the last part, when you will compare, when you got to know that the LHS part, when you simplified it, is equal to 2 plus 5 root 6 by 6. So when I make it equal to a minus b root 6, so what you will do? Multiply, if we can say that the rational part should be same. So a is equal to 2 side. 5 root 6 by 6 is an irrational part, minus b root 6 is an irrational part, so they should be equal. So from here you will get b is equal to minus 5 by 6. So that is how you can get your answer as a is equal to 2 and b is equal to minus 5 by 6. I have shown you the solution also. You can look at it one more time. Got it? Let's go for the next question, and a very important question. Now the question is root 7 minus 1 upon root 7 plus 1 minus of root 7 plus 1 upon root 7 minus 1 is equal to a plus b root 7. So you can see here is one number, here is another number. So let us separately rationalize that. So first number, if I rationalize, let us say this is your p, this is your q. So if I rationalize this p part, which is your root 7 minus 1 upon root 7 plus 1, what I'll be getting? So for the rationalization, look at the denominator. The denominator is root 7 plus 1. So multiply it with root 7 minus 1. Here also root 7 minus 1. So you'll be getting root 7 minus 1 whole square upon a plus b into a minus b, that is root 7 whole square minus 1 whole square. So it will become root 7 minus 1 whole square, a square plus b square minus 2ab. So a square, that is root 7 square, is 7, plus b square, that is plus 1 square, is 1, plus minus 2 into root 7 into 1, which is 2 root 7, divided by root 7 square is 7 minus 1. So you are getting 8 minus 2 root 7 whole divided by 6. Now from the numerator you can take 2 common. So it will become 4 minus root 7, not 2 root 7, 4 minus root 7, because you have taken 2 common. Okay. Just a second. Because you have taken 2 common. So this 2 will not be here. So if I take 2 common from the numerator, what I have got? 2 taken common here, 4 minus root 7 divided by 6. 2 ones are 2 threes are. So this part is equal to, finally equal to 4 minus root 7 upon 3. Got it? Let's talk about the second number. The second number we have here, this part, root 7 plus 1 upon root 7 minus 1. Rationalize this. So you need to rationalize it with, multiply with root 7 plus 1. Here also root 7 plus 1, because a minus b. So here it should be a plus b. So you will get root 7 plus 1 whole square upon root 7 whole square minus 1 square. So you will get again 7 plus 1 plus 2 root 7, because a square plus b square plus 2ab divided by 7 minus 1. So that is equal to 8 plus 2 root 7 divided by 6, and if you take 2 common, so you will be getting 4 plus root 7 divided by 3. Got it? So now I can see the LHS side which I have to solve. This P I have got as 4 minus root 7 by 3, correct? Minus the second part, this Q, when I solved here, I have got it as 4 plus root 7 by 3. I want to make it equal to A plus B root 7. Okay? So now I will work on this part. Let's talk about this. So I have 4 minus root 7. Ab dekho, here you can see that 3 and 3 is the common denominator. 3 and 3 is the common denominator. So if I take denominator common, so one side you have 4 minus root 7 minus of 4 plus root 7 is equal to a plus b root 7. So let's open this bracket. So you will get 4 minus root 7, and minus into plus is minus, minus into plus is minus root 7 whole divided by 3 is equal to a plus b root 7. Now this step, I am telling you, many students who make mistake, if they are making mistake, any mistake in this question, they will make mistake at this part, because they will think that this minus is only for this root 7. No, this minus stands for the whole. So that is why I have taken the numerator in the bracket, because this minus is for the whole 5 plus 4 plus root 7. So minus into plus is minus, and minus into plus is also minus. Got it? So now you can see 4 and minus 4 got cancelled. Minus root 7 is minus 2 root 7 divided by 3 is equal to a plus b root 7. Now you will see a is a rational number. Here we do not have any rational number. So I can say a is nothing but equal to 0. And I can always write 0 here. 0 plus this part. Always I can do that. 0 plus anything is what? Nothing. It doesn't change anything. 4 plus 0 is what? 4 only. So a is equal to 0. And how do you find out b? So I can say minus 2 root 7 by 3 is equal to b root 7. So 7 to 7 got cancelled. You got b is equal to minus 2 by 3. Got it? This is how you can get your answer for this question. So first I have rationalized the first part, root 7 minus 1 upon root 7 plus 1. So when you rationalize it, you got 4 minus root 7 by 3. Then I rationalized the second part and I got 4 plus root 7 by 3. So I rewrote that this first part is 4 minus root 7 by 3 minus of that whole 4 plus root 7 by 3 is equal to a plus b root 7. Okay, is equal to a plus b root 7. After that, I saw that the denominator is common in both 3, 3. So I can take the denominator common. So I am left with 4 minus root 7 minus of 4 plus root 7. Open the bracket, 4 and 4 got cancelled. Minus root 7 will become minus 2 root 7 by 3. So minus 2 root 7 by 3 should be equal to a plus b root 7. So irrational part will be equal. Here and on the RHS side, a is a rational part. On the LHS side, there is no rational number present. So I can say no rational present means what? That number is 0. So 0 plus anything is same thing. So A is equal to 0 and B is equal to minus 2 by 3. These are the most difficult questions that can be asked from rationalization. And I am pretty sure that if you are able to solve these questions with me, or if you have understood it by now, you will not make a mistake in the topic rationalization. They are not going to ask you any difficult question more than that. Just understand in the denominator, we do the rationalization on the basis of the denominator. Whatever is denominator, we multiply it with the opposite sign. If it is a plus b, multiply with a minus b. If it is a minus b, multiplied with a plus b. And then after that, simple calculations. After that, simple calculations. Got it? So the correct answer will be a is equal to 0 and b is equal to minus 2 by 3. Now here they have done the different approach. What they have done is, here they have taken the LCM and then they have solved it. So that way also it can be done. The answer will remain same. A is equal to 0 and b is equal to minus 2 by 3. Got it? So this was all. I hope all of you really enjoyed it and you have learned the topic rationalization. I hope there is no fear about it now onwards. Okay, but still, if there are any doubts, anything, you can put it in the comment box. Any doubts related to this part, any question, you can put it in the comment box. Whatever session, if you had a doubt in the rational and irrational number, put it in that comment box. If you have a doubt about rationalization, put in the comment box of this video and let us know your doubts. We will work for it as well. Also, as you all know that all of you are under lockdown, the study should not hamper. For that reason, Vedantu has made all its, has given free access to all the content in the live classes of Vedantu. So you can join, you can check out this part at using the link vdnt.in/YTLIVE. Go to that link and you will get your answer. Also, VSET, I have been telling you, please attempt VSET because first thing, free registration, not a single rupee has been charged. Second thing, no need to go outside anywhere, at the comfort of your home. You can join, you can give the test. And the third thing, you get scholarship from Vedantu. Got it? Till now, 32.31 crores of scholarship has already been given. You can also be one of them. Got it, beta? So I hope all of you have enjoyed the chapter. And once again, thank you so much for coming to this session. Like this video because many students still don't know about this part. 9 students are very less at this platform yet. So please share it with your friends. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Do not forget to press the bell icon. And let's more and more students get join our club. And let's make this learning a bigger part. Okay. So with this, I hope all of you have enjoyed the class a lot. I'll see you soon in some other class with some other topic and we'll be back again. But don't forget to put your doubts in the comment section of that video. Got it? Chalo. So thank you so much. Bye bye to all of you and stay safe, stay at home. Bye bye.